Okay, I'm back. So now I believe it is time, not Larissa, because she's still in the pod, to have everyone else head over to these cryopods and try to take them out. I do need to set that door to allow so I can have my people actually go in there. As for the arrangement, I can have Cornbread hold the door open. And then I'll have everyone else just kind of arrange around them. Like that. Scotty should be able to take a quick shot. Actually, it might be better for Mal to do it, because I think her gun... Oh, she can't. Okay. Have Biscotti do it. Take a quick shot of that pod. That should pop it open. And now Cornbread can move up here. Door will close. There we go. And now they'll come out one by one and just get fucking blasted. Oh, that low shield pack is an interesting development. I'll have everyone just back around the corner. Oh, right, they can't shoot into the shield either. Alright. Blasted. Cornbread can probably just jump on that last guy. Oh, unless he just dies. Okay, that solves that. Put these fires out. And I've got, as a prize, some gold, some go juice, a little bit of yayo. Advanced component, nice. Looks like all their weaponry was unremarkable, though. That's generally been the case in my experience. Well, that's where all this godforsaken steel is coming from. Do not pick that up. I have enough. Doing pretty good on plasteel too, which I am happy to see. God damn. This is where, in the previous one, there was a whole bunch of dudes that were forming up over here. That's what all these pods, debris are from, for their transport pods. And some orbital debris just happened to come down at the same time. And it did some damage to them. Less than this might look. There's only a few of them that got destroyed. A few were killed. And a few were injured. But it was certainly messy. And you can clearly see where they just kind of followed up over here. Got to here, and then got blasted by a rocket strike. So it was just kind of a bad day for them all around. With that taken care of, though, I think we are officially done in this location. So I just need to wait for Larissa to wake up in her pod. Wait for Sammy. Ooh, I can have him do a throne speech. Why not? Sammy's trial cooldown will be done very soon. So I can put this guy on trial, assume he's convicted, take his liver and get rid of him. And Larissa should be waking up shortly thereafter. Heritable throne speech. Wow. Full of awkward jokes and depressing stories. What's the impact of that? -8. Social status. Impressive. Nails is getting close to being a functional child. Should make sure I've got some equipment for them. I think I already had Mal make some, but that might have been used up in the previous child who was sent on their way. Okay, yeah, I've got stuff available. Oh, also have some organs to load up onto the shuttle. Sure. Should probably load up that Luciferium too. Don't really have much interest in using that stuff, but it is worth a fair amount of money. Can I be making some top hats or something while I wait? I hate just having this stretch of time where nothing is really happening. I could use some more of this plain leather. I really just don't use plain leather for very much. So if I were to take another 500 of this out, do 353, and that'll make me another 10 top hats. Wait, was that plain leather? Yes, plain leather. Switch that on, and then have Mal get to work on those, just to convert that into some money and give her something to do. Oh. Another raid. I'll prepare for a while, then attack. What are we looking at here? Ooh, that's a lot of melee dudes. I don't love that, actually. I wonder if I can force them to go a long way around. I think if I were to build a wall, like right here, then they'd have to go pretty far around. The next nearest door would be this. I can try. No one else is really doing anything at the moment. And I certainly have the steel to spare. It's definitely a raid that I'd prefer to just leave from, if I get away with it. Both Larissa in this for another 17 hours, they're almost certainly going to attack shortly before she gets out of that pod. Suboptimal. Wonder if I can have Thorn blink at him a little bit. Probably. I'll have everybody actually go ahead and get ready for the fight. There's a distinct possibility that when I blink at those dudes, that they will immediately begin their assault. I think I will power these rocket launchers on. If I can catch them with that, that's definitely going to be helpful. It may actually make sense to open this door up as well, actually. Thorn might even be able to fire from there. Oh, not quite. His range is long, but not quite that long. Certainly take some shots from here, though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he should be able to thin them out a little bit while they're just hanging out. His ability to snipe is, frankly, pretty ridiculous. With this careful shooter, high sniping skill, and this insane rifle. Bolt's Grim Regret. This thing's range is longer than anything I've ever seen. I mean, it's longer than these uranium slug turrets, I believe. They've got 46 range. His rifle has 49 range. Yeah, I think it is literally longer than everything else that I've seen. I think 46 is the highest that I generally see. I don't know if we'll actually end up dropping any of these. 90% shot at that range is wild. But even if he just kind of weakens a whole bunch of them... Oh, he dropped one. That's good. Okay, here they come. I'm going to have you get back up into the rocket position. Mal can take up this rocket position. Sammy can take the gun up here. Set these to not be held open before I forget. Margarita can take that one. Actually, no. Swap those. Scotty will just get into a fighting position. Same thing with Cornbread. I'm curious to see what route these guys take. Nice. Love to see some cheap shots coming in. That actually was kind of unfortunate, since now they'll just probably go around that corner. Oh yeah. Thorn's probably going to get the chance to blast them around this corner again. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. That's a pretty solid hit. Did some decent damage to a bunch of them. Means Mal can probably set this set off now. And I think I'll have everyone else actually just go ahead and get inside at this point. Not the preferred route, Margarita, because you might get hit by a rocket. Ooh, avoided it. Good. Margarita can actually go back a spot. Yeah. Man, these guys are pretty jacked up now. That's good. And from here, I wish Sammy had stun. But no such luck. Let's focus on Cornbread. I might be able to berserk these things. I'm actually not sure if I can. Yes, I can. That's cool. That's pretty expensive, though. I can't do that very much. This does technically stun them for a moment. Every little bit to keep them out of melee range is going to be appreciated. Oh yeah, they're getting messed up here. Did get hit on Cornbread though. Wow, a pretty good hit. Unsurprisingly, the melee robots can be fairly dangerous in melee. Who knew? I believe that's all of them though. Yep, looks like we're clear. Good job, everybody. And now I've got a whole bunch of additional robots to shred up. And probably get some plasteel from. Which, with the amount of plasteel I have, it might be worth it to replace this kind of inner liner section of my fighting area with plasteel blocks instead of uranium. Uranium is really, really tough, but plasteel, I believe, is a bit tougher still. Let's see what the difference is. Uranium has a 250% bonus. And plasteel has a 280. Yeah, so it's not huge. But it also doesn't really cost that much. So probably still worth it. In fact, I'll just do this whole inner liner. Power these things back off. Because there's just not really much of a point in keeping them operational when I'm not getting ready to fire them. They don't do anything on their own. Sammy, I guess, can keep meditating since he did use up a little bit of focus. I'll have Biscotti come down here and pop these doors back open. Legendary work. Okay, well, that's not going to be worth a ton, since plain leather is still just not very valuable. Whooped. 635. Better than I expected, honestly. Masterwork. Nice work, Mal. And that's all the top hats taken care of. How's everyone's regular clothing looking? That shirt's getting low. Seems like everyone else is doing pretty well, though. And I'm pretty sure I have at least... Ah, there we go. Larissa's up and about, which means Sammy's trial thing should also be ready. Sweet. Just gonna knock that out now. Gonna have to wake everybody up, but that's okay. Presented another interpretation. Dude, you attacked. There we go. Convicted by a jury of my peers rather than their peers. Totally fair. Who's to say it wasn't? Now the question is, though, does Margarita get the kill? 16.3 medical versus Cornbread's 18 flat. I'm gonna have Cornbread do it because 18 flat means he might drop down a level if he doesn't get some practice soon. Well, 18.06 is still not high, but it's at least better. I'm gonna load that onto the shuttle. Old Livermobile. Oh, that's kind of weird looking. What am I getting from shredding these guys? Am I getting any plasteel? That looks like probably just steel. Suboptimal. I'm going to turn a few more of these walls into plasteel just because it looks kind of odd otherwise. In fact, fuck it. I've got enough. I'm worth it. Just turn all of this exterior into plasteel. The doors are still uranium, but the doors don't generally get hit as much as the walls. And the color contrast of the light and the dark is not bad. I've got this odd blue butt for the ship. Suppose these barricades can also be plasteel. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Cancel. I wish I could figure out a practical way to shift all of this stuff over one tile. Because I feel like I'm running into too many situations where a dude will come in here and then have immediate line of sight over here. And since they see the guys in the door, then they'll sometimes get up on top of this barricade and try to shoot diagonally, which is not what I'd like to happen. I only have 9 tiles to play with, which realistically means I've got 4 tiles per side. I might be able to do that. Probably do that where I now land, because I'm going to leave here now that all this business is taken care of. Yeah. Let's go ahead and just leave this spot. I'm basically out of wood anyways. I might not be using fuel to run the generators anymore, which is nice. But I still use fuel to run my jetpacks. And also to refill these launchers every time they launch. Didn't have as much of a surplus for fuel as I would normally like coming into this. Or, not fuel, wood. Let's figure out where to go. Oh wow, launch quality is up to 98% with that new Persona subcore. That's pretty sweet. Oh wow, I actually can fly straight to that GravCore mission. But there's not a lot of wood in these glow forests, and there also won't be a lot of light, which means I'm going to need to be using my generators a lot to make up for the lack of solar power. So I should probably land somewhere else first, just to restock on wood. See if there's somewhere that's appealing. Fertile ground. I'll do that. If I can snap up some extra, I don't know, something. Rice, probably. Fill up the stockpile a little bit more, grab some wood. Probably have already traded with these guys. Oh, no, they've restocked. So Larissa can pop around and do some hat selling. See if I've got anything juicy to grab up over there. And hey, it's possible there'll be some ancient dangers that have the slightest of chances to have that resurrection mech serum. Seen some jade. That's something. And, wow. That's basically it. That's impressive. This is one of the more just like plain places I've seen. Interesting. Alright, well, whatever. Probably just land, do like one harvest of rice, and then just continue to my next destination. Try to land somewhere roughly in the middle with some harvestable ground, or some arable land, rather, nearby. Steam geysers in the way there. I'll just drop in, like, right here, I guess. I don't know if I even want that jade. I could try making some fancy beds. I think I'll actually just fill in most of this growing zone. Since I'm only going to be staying here briefly, I don't really need to worry about overproducing, so I'll probably only be getting like 1 or 2 harvests from this. Set both of these to rice. I think I will build a steel door here with a steel wall that extends out over here. Probably could do something similar on the other side just to try to force people to get in range of the guns. Yeah. Do steel door. Walls. Thusly. How far does this thing reach? Pretty goddamn far. That ought to be pretty good. The big thing, though, is going to be gathering up some trees, of which there is plenty of wood available. Shouldn't be an issue. I'll try making 1 or 2 royal beds. I have a lot of gold. And with that new mod, the quality mod, which I guess I can go ahead and set the options for that now. Set it to just be Mal, set for legendary. And have her build 1 or 2 royal beds out of that jade. See if I can't get something a little bit fancier. Set up there. And so those take a little while to build. I don't know if it's going to be necessary for me to have multiple that she's working on. 1's probably adequate. Mine up that steel. Or jade, rather. I don't need steel. There's a shitload of steel to be had. Guess I can get those components. Just steel up there as well. A few more components, why not? How's my medicine looking? Medicine's looking fine. Okay, yeah. Probably just be a pretty brief stop to restock and then move along. Did go through quite a bit of my meat supply, so some hunting wouldn't be the worst idea. Grab these donkeys. And some deer as well. Cool. Yeah, the ship's already ready to launch again. Having a high quality launch is pretty nice. Hey, why isn't this thing... Oh, it's a slag chunk. That means I need a dumping stockpile to get rid of that. Please remove this from the ship, guys. Tortoise self-tamed. I guess it just saw the ship land and felt at home. I don't really want a tortoise, though. Be gone! Ritual opportunity. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's getting close to the 10th of September again. Nails as a child. The main colonist. Alright, time to come out, Nails. Welcome to the real world. And set Sauce back to grounded mode so they're not wearing a space helmet around. Good deal. Now Nails can start working on their studies. No idea what I'd like them to do. I'll just have to wait and see how they develop over time. I do like the child rearing mechanics, for lack of a better term, because of that. Where you're generally, as long as you can give them the learning opportunities they need, you're generally going to get a useful colonist. Like, they're going to have some good passions and good skills. We don't really know what it's going to be, so you kind of have some going with the flow, some mystery. See how they evolve over time. Yeah, these royal beds, they take a long-ass time to build. Oh yeah, if I was going to try to scoot all this stuff over by one tile, what would that look like? Currently have this set up. I guess it's going to make sense to actually put in markings for the doors and such. So we got a door there, one door there. The turret is there. And then we have just walls there. I can select all of these. Well, in theory. There we go. Select all of that over here. Get rid of all of this. So if that were over here, this wouldn't have to be a barricade. I could just have a barricade here. Because I do like having the barricades outside the door. It's a nice little extra defensive bonus. I'd prefer if the barricade extended up one tile, but I only will have 4 tiles to play with. Unless I can get rid of a chunk over here. How much time do I realistically have? Not a ton. That rice is nearly grown already. Fertile rice, or rice planted in fertile ground is really, really quick. Alright, Mal, here's your chance. Make something nice. What's it gonna... Yo, you bitch. Well, she'll get it in the morning. Oh no, I never actually turned this back on. It's probably when my rice supply was running a little bit thin. Glad I noticed that. Larissa, how about you go ahead and pop these doors open just so that the turrets have full view. Alright, Mal, now you can finish the bed. Excellent quality. Useless. Do it again. She even have time to do it again. Maybe? Probably. Let me try scooting one of these turrets over and just see what it looks like. So I would need to for sure have these tiles scoot. I guess it does need to be 5. It needs to be 5 tiles, which means I do need to get rid of 1 tile. I don't really need that one, so that's fine. I like having the hex tile floors, even though it's really not necessary. Oh wait, actually, yeah, I do have the hex tiles there as well. Might end up needing to mine some steel for this, we'll see. Oh, you know what? Mal's construction could be improved. I do have that one trainer. That'll help a little bit with her bed project. Alright, so I want to move the uranium barricade out one. Delete these. Got a war merchant coming in. Doubtful I want to buy anything from them, but I might be able to sell something to them. I'll have Larissa take a look at their stock. Or you know, I guess Sammy can do it. Larissa's generally the better trader, because she's got a bunch of stuff to help, but with the inspired trade, Sammy might end up being the better pick for this one. Yeah, plus 40%. That's pretty substantial. What do you guys have for sale? Anything interesting? Looking like probably not. That's fine. There's just only so much that they can realistically be selling me because their tech level is not very high. I can sell them those pants. And this shirt that's kind of beat up. Don't really see anything else. Obviously needs to be sold. I could sell them the Ascensions catalysts. Oh, the pants should be fine. I mostly just want to sell them something. Yeah. See if I can get any rumors from them. No such luck. So I'll build the security door there, which means I'll need the plasteel corners there. I'm just going to kind of scoot everything. Which might cause some problems with my wiring. But I don't think it will. We'll see. Means these guys can be dismantled. Means I guess that door needs to be dismantled as well. And the gun for that matter, because if those doors are down and I get attacked at that particular moment, I'd rather not have a turret that's just out in the open air, ready to be smashed. Terror Pods quest. Persona Zeushammer. That wouldn't be bad to get. What's it got going on? Traits. Psychic Hypersensitizer. Weapon amplifies the wielder's psychic sensitivity by 40%. Mad Wailing. Weapon's persona is highly disturbed and won't shut up about it. Wails mad notions to whoever is bonded with it, suppressing their mood. Okay, that doesn't sound all that appealing if I'm being honest. What do I even have to do? I'd have to defeat a mechanoid cluster. It's got a mortar, 5 unstable power cells, which honestly would probably just destroy the whole fucking thing. High shield, some drop beacons, some birthers, some capsules, a bunch of turrets. I do get 13 Janissaries under my control. This honestly would probably not be too difficult if those unstable power cells are visible. Because Thorn could most likely just snipe them from a distance and blow up, like, most of the base. Do I care about any of those rewards, though, is the question. Thorn is currently an Acolyte. I think I could get him up to potentially Praetor before I would start running into problems with the room not being good enough. So, I mean, I could do it. Let me finish building up these turrets. And take another look at it after that. Guess this door will need to be moved over here. So that will need to be there, and that can be deconstructed. Because I kind of want to see what all this looks like when it's done. I should have some other floors to put in as well. Well, a floor to put in. Alright, well that fits fine. I added 5 tiles. I did also remove 1 tile. So yeah, I could do this on both sides. I do also need to scoot this stuff over though. So, well, that's a steel door. That's kind of goofy. That'll need to be uranium. That'll need to be there. That'll need to be there. Which means this would need to be deleted. And this would need to be tile. Gotta make sure someone holds that door open though. You always want to have a clear path. I guess these turrets would do okay. You also want to have a clear path to either some colonists or to a powered active turret. Because if you don't, when the enemies show up, if they attack immediately, or if they show up and plan and then begin their attack, as soon as the enemies begin an attack, whether it be immediately upon arrival or after a delay, if they don't have a path where they can get to a powered turret, it has to be powered, or a colonist, then they'll just kind of target random shit and try to like poke holes in the outside of your base, which is, you know, suboptimal to say the least. All right, well that appears to work. In fact, that means I can even build this extra little bit of uranium barricade there, just to finish the look. Hopefully, with guys coming in back here, this path being a little bit longer, they won't quite have line of sight to this door. That's the dream, at least. Because if they don't, then they should get to here before they see people, at which point they won't be able to path on top of that plasteel barricade. If nothing else, it should be better. That rice is nearly done. I'll finish up this other set of barricades and whatnot, or just replicating this on the other side, and then probably move on to the next spot. In fact, it might make sense after I do shift all this stuff over take on that mech cluster quest here. So that if it does actually look like it's going to be a little bit too dangerous, I can just leave. Go to the next spot. It's nice to have the option. That's going to have to wait for the next episode, though. So for now, I'm going to call it here, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.